Hey, Melissa.
Hey, Amy.
So weird, Melissa. Um,
It's just my voice, Amy. Just my voice.
Hi, Amy. What are you doing? It's like she has a different job after hours. Okay, so we are here with our next guest. So, our friend, will you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are and what you do.
Sure. I am Sally Gerstner. I have a private practice actually here outside of New Orleans called Southern Roots Dyslexia Therapy. And we provide therapy, but we also do screenings. We provide parent support to the area and hopefully contract out to different public schools as well.
I feel like I know you.
I feel like we've met before in something.
Yeah, especially when you said your name, I was like, the face worked, the name worked,
Right.
and I'm not sure where we've met before.
I know. No, I feel like our paths have crossed before.
Probably.
Yes.
I've been doing this for decades.
I know. And I am a fangirl of the.
Oh, well, that's
yeah,
always
so
good, too.
That's right.
That's always good, too. So tell us a little bit about your business.
So the business we started in 2018 and actually came out of the need in our area. I was a special ed teacher by heart, came into some trainings and then learned about dyslexia therapy. And my parents begged me to go full-time, and so I left full-time teaching and came to do this. And so it's really been a huge blessing because it's just organically grown. And really, I mean, hold with God thing, how things have worked into that I now have private contracts with public schools, Catholic schools. We're talking to a local charter school conglomerate here in New Orleans about they have a huge grant and they need therapists, and so hopefully that will come to fruition in the next couple months.
What curriculum are you using with your kiddos?
We either use Take Flight or BLS. I was initially trained by William Carey, by Sina Holyfield and Dr. George, and we did the BLS Nyhouse kind of combo. But a couple of years ago, I met up with Chris Fry and did the Take Flight retrain. And so depending on the kiddo, we flip-flop back and forth.
When did you sit for your exam, your CALTA exam?
2018.
Okay.
So a little bit ago now.
Very good.
It's been, about 8 years now.
Yeah, nice.
It's fantastic. And so I have loved every minute of it.
Yeah, I get it.
So you're speaking today.
I am.
And what is your topic?
Our topic is best practices for private practice. So
Okay.
how does our private practice start? What does that look like? And really we're going to focus on the fact that educators are not natural business people. And so
Right.
we have to get out of the mindset that we're tutors and that we're professionals.
You're right.
And so that there is a whole business side of running a private practice in addition to the therapy part of it that makes it successful. Because then you have to become your own salesperson and selling what we're offering, how we make a difference, and why we're a value add as we come into these schools and communities.
Right. I'm blessed because I have a salesperson as my husband, and he is an amazing salesperson over here. But you're right, exactly, that you have to be a business person, and that's been the hardest part for me, stepping into it from public schools to go to private. You just step into it, and you think, okay, I'm going to be able to do this, no problem.
Yes, and honestly, teachers are by just nature givers, and they just want to love on kids. And so that flip to becoming the sales, understanding the books of things, understanding how to market and get contract and protect yourself, and not water down what you're doing because somebody else doesn't understand it. That you're like, no, I own that I do dyslexia therapy. This is quality. This is how much we have to offer in order to move the needle, and not water it down to, well, can you just come one day a week? No. You can hire a tutor for that.
Yeah, right.
So you don't want me for that. You want me for my expertise in being able to move the needle with these kids with dyslexia.
Well, I think it's interesting now because my husband does the editing for the podcast. He knows now not to call it dyslexia tutoring.
Yes.
He knows that it's, in fact, I've heard him catch himself, well, you're tutoring your therapy students, and I'm like, yeah, that's
Yes,
right.
yes.
That's right.
And we have to get really comfortable with correcting people as well, and not as a disrespect to them. So there's an understanding that there is a difference between.
It's a higher level.
It is, and that brings to the table that we're not just trying to fix something in the moment. We are truly remediating the deficits and changing the trajectory of how these kids learn.
And we start at the beginning.
Yes.
For all of our kids, people are like, well, can't you just progress monitor them and then go from there?
Then go from there, yes.
No, because here's my word, assumicide. We're committing
Yes, assumicide. Yes,
We can't
yes,
do
no,
that.
and I pushed into several Catholic and private schools in the area on the North Shore, and one of our administrators was asking me because another therapist was talking about possibly starting in a different spot, and she said, "You've said on several different occasions you don't start anywhere but the beginning," and I was like, "No, no, no, the assumicide." I was like, "I don't know what your child doesn't know until I am touching every single skill," and you would be surprised at how many kids don't have XYZ skill because you're just assuming that they should have that based on how they're doing with other skills.
I cannot tell you how often when I was still working in public ed, I was the dyslexia evaluator, and they would send me out to the high school, and I would have to start with that dyslexia inventory, that alphabet inventory. And the ninth grade would look at me, and I was like, "Can you recite the letters in the alphabet without singing or chanting the alphabet song?" They look at me like, "Oh." And then they get like what to P.
Yes,
and
and
they're
they've
gone.
fallen off, and they're falling
they start
off.
back out
Yes,
again.
absolutely.
It's very interesting.
Well, I'm sure everybody's going to be so excited to hear what you have to say about private practice, especially if they're therapists themselves looking to get into this. Now, I have a question for you. Is this something that you train on outside of coming to the ALTA conference? Do you do this outside of school?
Training for how to do a private practice?
Yes.
I don't. Well, I mean, if somebody asks me a question, I'm answering questions all day long, right? And so I don't gatekeep that because we are stronger as we're building out there together. The goal is to be either out of business or that we're pushing into schools, right? But, giving the advice of understanding the business side, I give that advice all day, every day to people who are doing that. That you need to decide whether you want to be an educator or you want to make systemic change. And so if you just want to stay in that education lane, that really you should partner with somebody else and being the therapist for them. If you want to make systemic change, then go ahead and start your own practice.
Right.
Well, and I think so many people, because I get this question a lot, especially because of the area that we live in. They go, "Oh, I want to break away from public ed or private school or whatever and start my own business." And I think they think it's just getting kids in their house. It's more than
that.
getting kids in your house. And in fact, you have to be really careful about bringing people
Into your home.
house.
Into your home, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. That it can't just, and that's that getting away from that tutoring versus
Yes,
therapy mindset that we
absolutely.
have to present ourselves like speech therapists, occupational therapists. They don't bring them into their homes. They have their practices. And so you have to use the terminology and present yourself like that.
Absolutely. So if people were going to look for you, how could they find you?
We have a website, so southernrootsdistinctlearning.com. And then my email is quite long. It's way too much. But it's S Gerstner, GERSTNER at southernrootsdistinctlearning.com.
Welcome. I have a long email too.
And I apologize. I did not think that through when I had to start repeating it.
My private practice is Discovery, and people will call it go. And then they have the last name right around Amy.
Oh, yes. And I'm so sorry. I did not think that through when I was starting all this.
One I had control of, the other one I didn't.
Right.
Add that to your discussion.
Yeah,
when you're
right.
making your emails.
Yeah,
How
how do you make
Think about your
a
dyslexia
manageable email?
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate
Bye,
y'all.
y'all.